Well, hello there, everyone. It's great to be back on your TV as we give you a local update here in the city of Belleville as we deal with this COVID-19 outbreak. And again, I want to start off by thanking your TV for providing this opportunity for me to give you a little bit of an update on what's going on here in the city of Belleville. This morning, I was part of a very exciting announcement with our MPP, Todd Smith, and our federal member of parliament, Neil Ellis, for both for the Bay of Quinte riding. We talked about the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program. So we call that the ISIP program for the Bell Boulevard expansion. So today was finally announced that the federal and provincial governments are also putting money towards that really needed project, about $4.5 million of that $20 million project. And it's great to have that support from the federal and provincial governments, but also to have the money that'll help us pay for that project. I gave an update that project, the widening of Bell Boulevard from Sydney Street west toward the far side of where we expect Costco to be going, is actually ahead of schedule. And the area that Costco will potentially be going to, that area should be completed by the end of this month. So another week or so to complete that. But also, because of COVID-19, we've seen traffic drops in the area. And so the construction company, Gordon Bar Limited, has actually been able to go quicker than they had thought. And so we're even going to have traffic lights, working traffic lights and full pavement in front of the casino in the next few weeks. And so that when they are able to reopen, they'll be able to do so without any traffic disruption. Work will continue eastward as we move closer to Sydney Street. And I can tell you that that is working really, really well. We will be able to start work on Sydney Street before the end of this year. And so that puts us about 3 or 4 months ahead of schedule for the overall project. So we're really happy and we're grateful to MPP Todd Smith and the provincial government and MP Neil Ellis and the federal government for their support. So much is happening in our city as we reactivate our economy and we see the reductions and the restrictions that we've been living with over the last 13 weeks or so. You're seeing patios springing up all over the city, both on public property downtown, but also on private property. And I'm so pleased to see our residents and our businesses continue to take the necessary steps of staying safe by social distancing, washing their hands, proper sanitation. So thank you very much to everybody. We are flattening this curve and our numbers are very, very good. I can share some fantastic news that City Hall is now open to the public again, finally, since the last time we were open to the public was back on March the 16th. And so we're back open. People can come in during our reduced hours of 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. They can come in, but we recommend that you make an appointment. You can just call the main switchboard number at 613-968-6481, and you can come in and pay your bills. You can apply for a marriage license again if you're getting married, or any other business you have to take care of here. If you do show up without an appointment, we'll try to fit you in as best we can. There is someone who is down at the front door, and they'll fit you in as space allows. So obviously, opening City Hall is a big step. It's a starting point as we look at reopening our city buildings to the public. And we're going to have some news regarding the Belleville Public Library and the Quinte Sports and Wellness Center and other areas as it comes forward. The City of Belleville has given permission to the Belleville's Farmers Market to resume their operations in the George Zagoras Market Square, right behind us here at City Hall. They're just finishing up some final details with the health unit, but we hope to see them back in business sometime this week. And we appreciate all the hard work that they have to do. They're they're farmers, and they're usually just want to bring their vegetables and their fruits to sell to us. And now they're having to work through all these protocols as well. And so we appreciate their work. Transit. I mentioned last week that we are starting to return to more scheduled service on transit, and I can announce that we're also going to have no charge continuing for transit service through the month of July. So you don't have to worry about coming and getting a bus pass to take it. We'll continue to have our transit services provided free of charge through the end of July. And I really want to thank our employees and all the riders of our transit for their cooperation. You know, we talk about it being an unprecedented time, and it's so true. but they have been working so hard to sanitize those buses to keep our riders and our staff safe. And I think they've done a fantastic job, and I just want to say thank you. We're also extending free parking on our city lots and the meters until the end of July. So, we've extended all those previous parking passes, and we're going to continue. We don't have to have a parking pass or pay the meters until the end of July. The City of Belleville is now opening our cooling center. And so in previous years, when the temperature would get hot, you'd be able to go into a number of facilities in the city. Because of COVID-19, we've had to restrict that. But as we get into these hot summer months, the Quinte Sports and Wellness Center will have a cooling center on the west end in the seniors room there. Stay tuned for announcements on our City of Belleville website and all of our platforms. Fire Chief Mark McDonald makes that decision to activate the cooling center, and it'll give people some relief from hot temperatures. A week from yesterday, or next week on the 29th of June, Monday, June the 29th, we will be reopening our 3 municipal splash pads throughout the city. And we've been working so hard, and the province has been giving us the requirements and the regulations, and our staff have been really working hard, but we've now been able to reopen those 3 splash pads. I want to ask residents to pay attention to their children when they're at these splash pads. Let's make sure that they're social distancing, because if we're not able to maintain the security of these sites in terms of being safe, then we won't be able to operate them in the future. So we're relying on residents to follow the safety protocols at those locations. A little bit of bad news, and I don't want to say this, but I have to. We were thinking we would be able to open the Kinsman Pool as of July the 1st. And yesterday morning, as we considered all of the information and the requirements, we've determined that we will not be opening the Kinsman Pool this summer. It is just too difficult for us to do so. The requirements and the health protocols are just too onerous for us to be able to do it properly and safely. We're very disappointed. And I know that other people will be disappointed as well, but we are planning on having it back in operation next summer, and I hope that people understand. Another bit of disappointing news, and I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings today, but Canada Day will be coming in next week, and unfortunately, we won't be having the annual fireworks celebration that we've normally had. Working with the Chamber of Commerce, they put on this spectacular fireworks display last year, but because of the social gathering restrictions and our requirement not to be encouraging groups that are larger than permitted, and today the social gathering limits are 10 people only, we have decided not to proceed this year. So we're very sorry, as I said, because we know how much people enjoy celebrating Canada Day and our nation's birthday, but they will be back next year. We had another electronic council meeting this week on Monday, and starting in July, we will be back in person. So we will no longer be meeting electronically. We'll be back in person on July the 6th for the 2020 budget meeting. And following that meeting on Monday, July the 6th, we will return to in-person city council meetings as we begin to deal with the backlog of non-urgent business that has been accumulating since March 20th. Which was the last time that we had a regular council meeting. And the reason why we haven't had those regular council meetings primarily is because they have not been open to the public and the media. And so we've only been dealing with urgent matters. But I will say that we have not missed a single council meeting, a regular scheduled council meeting. We have gone ahead since the beginning of this pandemic, and I'm quite proud of that. There will be an additional council meeting as we try to catch up with that backlog that I mentioned, and that'll be held on Monday, July the 27th. And we will be going ahead with the meeting on August the 10th. And we should be caught up after those meetings. City council committees are starting to resume their work, and they have a lot of work to catch up with as well. And I want to thank everybody, including members of the public who serve on those committees, for their cooperation. I'm really excited to be able to announce that our second donation from the City of Belleville of a lot to Habitat for Humanity was announced this week at City Council. Last year, for the first time in over 20 years, we donated a piece of land to Habitat for Humanity that's on Sydney Street for them to use as one of their future builds. And that was, I said, the first time in over 20 years since Ross McDougall was the mayor of Belleville that occurred. And out of the housing summit last year, we made a pledge that we would give one parcel of land to a group like Habitat every year. And so I'm pleased to say that in their second year, we've donated another parcel of land to Habitat for Humanity. It's also on Sydney Street, and it'll be given to them very, very shortly. Time is of the essence for this one because Habitat for Humanity already has a pre-built house ready to go. Andy Gertzma from Gertzma Construction is doing some work on Sydney Street, and they have an existing home that they've donated to Habitat for Humanity. So as soon as the basement is dug, they'll be able to move that house on there, and it'll be home to a new family in our city. And I want to congratulate Gertzma Homes and Habitat for this great news. We're so proud of that as a city council that we've been able to help with this. Last week, we launched our pop-ups on the Bay for 2020, and it was down at Zwick's Park. And so that is now in operation from 11 till 7 days a week. And it was the first opening of a activity since the COVID-19 hit us back in March. So we were very excited to be there. Almost all of us on council were there. And I want to wish those vendors that are operating food and beverages and ice cream and canoeing and paddleboards and kayaks and all kinds of things, I want to wish them very well this summer and invite you to go there. It's a perfect family activity, and it's very COVID safe because of the ability to social distance, and it'll be there all summer long. So the last, before I sign off for this week, and I know my message today may be a little longer than normal, but I want to thank again YourTV for this opportunity. The last thing I want to do is I want to say thank you to everybody who's been an essential employee, who's worked throughout this entire COVID-19 situation. You know, we're seeing more and more businesses come online and people going back to work. But let's not forget the people that have always been there and never took a break, and they provided us with all of our essential services. And I want to say thank you to them. And I want to encourage everyone to have understanding and compassion, not just for the people that have been there for us all along, but the people that are coming back online now. Also, congratulations to all the graduates that are happening, graduations that are happening this week and last week. And as we say, congratulations to students graduating from grade 8, from grade 12, and also those that are graduating from Loyalist College. We're very proud of you all, and what makes you will be stronger for this experience going through it, even though it may be different than those of us that graduated before you. You are also graduates, and we're very, very proud of you. Next week is going to be our nation's birthday, and I want to wish everybody a very happy Canada Day. In spite of the situation with COVID-19 and the disruption to our lives, I believe we still live in the best country in the world, and I hope you were all able to take a moment on July 1st, on Canada Day, to reflect on how much we as a nation have to be thankful for. So with that, I will say Happy Canada Day, Bonne Fête Canada, and I wish you all well until next time.